Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over the barrel that you see on the table here in front of me. This is the Bravo Company Enhanced Lightweight Profile barrel. This one here is a 16-incher, and they also make it in 14.5 inches, but we'll get into all the details with the barrel specs here in just a second. But before we do that, I want to go outside, back to the range, and see how this thing shoots in terms of accuracy. There certainly are a lot of people out there that are of the mindset that you have to have a real heavy profile in order to get good or acceptable accuracy, particularly with the AR-15 rifles. I tend not to agree with that, but we're gonna go out there and see just how this particular barrel shoots with a few different loads, and then come back out here to the deck to get into the details on it. Of course, the wind picks up when it's time to test the accuracy, but at this distance, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We're at 100 yards there from the target, and we got a few different loads to run through and see how this barrel is going to shoot. Now, full disclosure, I actually shot this accuracy test already. I just had a read error on my my SD card there in my camera, so we're reshooting it. So I know how it shoots, but anyway, we're going to see how it shoots with these particular loads. So first up, we have some Defender ammunition. This is a company that's relatively local to me. This is a 5.56 load and 77 grain Sierra Match King. So in theory, should do pretty well. What we have on there is the Primary Arms 1:8 Platinum Series scope. It's an excellent scope, plenty of magnification for this distance, and just a mil-spec trigger in there. I believe that's a Bravo Company lower parts kit, so it's their trigger. A little bit enhanced, but it's nothing like a Geissele or anything like that, so I guess I have an excuse if I need it, but I don't think we'll need it. So on the end of the rifle there, we have a dead air flash hider, because this rifle is mostly shot suppressed, as you guys have probably seen so far. So anyway, enough yapping. We'll see what it'll do and what it'll hit and how it'll group with this particular load. There you go. That's that load. Up next, we're gonna have some Federal. This is, I believe, 73 grain. Yep, 73 grain. This is their burger bullet. So it's a gold medal match, or rather gold medal burger. These, I think, are relatively new. I think they just came out in 2017, but a lot of people like it with the burger round because it has a really good BC. So for longer range shooting, it tends to do really well. But we'll see how it does accuracy-wise out of this barrel. All right, next up for the load, we have some Browning. This is gonna be the lightest load we're gonna put through it for sure. This is their BXV Varmint round. So this one's 50 grain and a 223 chambering. So we're gonna see how the twist rate on this barrel affects it. If you read forums, everyone will tell you that it can't shoot anything accurately. But in real life, as you guys who watch the channel know, I've found different things. So each barrel's sort of its own animal and likes its own load. So we'll see how this one does here. All right, last load we're gonna put through it. That barrel's not too hot. All right, cool. So right now it's about 55, 60 degrees outside, so the barrel's not heating up too bad at all. Last load is gonna be the Winchester. This is their Match King hollow point bolt tail round, 69 grainer. And I'll tell you right now, I shot Freedom Munitions version of this the last time I shot the accuracy test with that 69 grain Match King, and it shot really, really well. So we'll see how the Winchester loading does. It's definitely sub MOA, so we'll see how this one does. Let's go check them out. First group we shot was that Defender 77 grain, so some heavy for caliber stuff, and Center to center, we're right at 1.25 inches. Then we went, I believe, to the burger stuff right here. Just over an inch, maybe like 1.125 inches there, center to center. Then we had the light for caliber stuff. So the Browning, and as you guys can see there, it seemed to do just fine with that load. We're right at 1.5 inches on that one. Then we have the last one there was those 69 grain Winchesters. So that one, right at 1.25 inches on that one. So as you guys can see, it shoots all the loads here pretty darn well. So that's a pretty good thing in my opinion. Like I said, the 69 grain Freedom that I shot before, that I'm out of now, which is why you didn't see it in this test, shot that one right at MOA as well. So it seems to like that load, the 69 grain bullet rather. But like I said, every barrel's different. But what's good about this is that it shot all of them well. So me personally, would rather have sort of like a bunch of 1.5 inch groups, if you will, versus like 1.75 inch group and then a bunch of like 2 and 3 inch groups. So my personal preference, but I think it's a good sign that it seems to shoot it all pretty darn well. As you guys just saw, the barrel shoots just fine with a variety of different loads, so that certainly is a good thing. And for practical accuracy, in my opinion, there's not a lot of scenarios that you're going to need more accuracy than what you just got there, at least not practically speaking anyway. So some specs on the barrel. It's made of 4150 CMV steel. It is made out of the, I think it's 11595E type of 4150 steel, which is what the military calls for. It's mil-spec in that regard. And Bravo Company actually picks random barrels off their line and sends it out for material inspection through destructive testing that they pay for, and they actually publish the results of those tests. So that way you can be confident that when you're paying for 4150 mil-spec type steel, you're getting that with their barrel. So that certainly is kind of cool. It has a 1 in 7 twist rate to it. The 5.56 chambering, that chamber is chrome lined, as well as the rest of the barrel. It's going to have our phosphated finish on there. You're going to have your M4 feed ramps for theoretically better reliable feeding. And the weight on this one, on the 16-inch version, is 21 ounces on my scale, completely stripped down. So that's with no gas block, no muzzle device, and no gas tube, of course, as well. So 21 ounces, but the key is how the weight is distributed. So cool thing about that is that we have a thicker area back here towards the chamber, which is really where you need it. That's where you're going to get a lot of erosion with the AR-15, and then it sort of tapers down here towards the gas block. It doesn't have the typical gas block sort of seated edge that most of them have. It's sort of tapered down right to it, and then it's a .625 gas block. So it's the type of gas block, or the size of gas block rather, that you would see with a pencil barrel. Then it extends out for about another inch past that and then steps down again to be even thinner. So really right out there on the end where you don't need a lot of weight and a lot of material in terms of accuracy, rigidity, and those types of things. And you also don't want a lot of weight, because weight on the end of the rifle is the worst place for it, in my opinion. It's harder to drive the rifle the heavier it is. And of course, it's just tiring shooting a rifle that's real heavy on the end. So people who watch this channel frequently know that I'm a fan of continuous taper type barrels like this. BCM's not the only game in town making them, but they make one of the best ones out there for sure, this being one of them. So they make these in both 16 and 14.5. Like I said, they also make them in standard button rifling, and then a cold hammer forged version as well. Cold hammer forged version tends to run about $30 to $50 more than the standard version, and the standard version you can find it for generally speaking, I think Brownell sells a kit for like $320. That's with the gas block and tube. Barrel itself would probably be around $290-ish, and of course the hammer forged one would be a little bit more. Do you need the hammer forged version? Okay, let's discuss that. The hammer forged version, in theory, should give you longer barrel life. However, one of the sort of best documented in terms of service life rifles out there is the BCM Filthy 14. You can Google it. It should pop right up. and it'll give you the round counts, the accuracy, and stuff like that that was observed with that barrel. And that thing went tens of thousands of rounds with a non-hammer forged BCM barrel, and was still getting good accuracy towards the end of its life. So pretty impressive, and you probably don't need the hammer forged barrel. I know some folks just want it, and that's cool. So they do offer that option, but the standard button rifling with the chrome lining and the materials that Bravo company offers here with this barrel should treat you pretty well. Now this barrel is also HP and MP tested. So for those that don't know, what that means is the HP part of that, they fire a high pressure round or a proof load through it. It's going to be exceeding what would normally be found with a 5.56 load. They fire that round through it. Then after that, they use a magnetic particle inspector to test out, or rather to inspect the barrel to see if there's any sort of hairline fractures, any kind of damage that you can't see with the naked eye, to ensure that that's not there. They do that with every barrel. It's not batch tested. Each individual barrel goes through that exact same process there with BCM. So when you buy, your BCM barrel, you're getting one that's been inspected properly and should be good to go in terms of shooting durability and being able to rely on it in those sorts of things as well. The geese are talking. They want the video to end. So with that, I suppose we'll end it here. If you guys have any questions about the barrel that we didn't cover here in the video, you can always post those down below in the comment section. You can always post over at my Facebook page. As always, that's generally speaking the best way to get in touch with me, because I tend to see those messages over there more than I do on YouTube, Full 30, or anywhere else where you guys might find me. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see all of you in the next video.